What's up guys, this is Astranox. I've been playing this game for 18 days now. This game is called Idle Moon Rabbit. It's very in-depth. There's a lot of different gameplay modes, guys. This game is actually very free-to-play friendly. That is why I'm actually playing it, and I'm really enjoying my time so far. The 15 gameplay mode, I'll explain them. I'm gonna be showing you guys 13 of these gameplay modes in this video. I'm gonna break down stuff. I'm gonna explain to you guys, give you tips, guide you so you can progress faster as a free-to-play player, especially, which I am, and that's how I enjoy my games. And if the game is not free-to-play friendly, I'm out of here, right? So I'm currently playing 5 different idle games. This is one of them, and I've been playing multiple idle games over the years. Now in the past few months, I've been playing basically like a dozen idle games. I've dropped quite a few of them. Over the years in my lifetime, probably like over 30 idle games. Started all the way back on Congregate, browser games, idle, incremental games. This game right now that you're seeing is very good. It's very good, even compared to its competitor. This game excels in a lot of departments, and there's a lot of things you can do to do better, more damage. You can progress faster, you can dodge stuff, you can control your character. You can run on auto, but you can change your position. You can turn off auto, manual your skills if you want to even push, you want to min-max, you want to get that super crazy high score and stuff like that. So I'm going to be explaining a lot of stuff to you guys. The first piece of content I was doing, when you saw all the cows running, yes, it's probably based on the cow level in Diablo, which I'm a very big fan of. Not Diablo Immortal, which I did not cover on the channel because it was an epic failure of a game. So I'm not gonna cover a Diablo Immortal. What a failure. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun with ARPG games over the year, and this game feels good. Like you can control it well. You can position yourself. You can crowd control monsters. You can freeze them, right? You can stun them. You can gather them into one position. You can draw big damage, and there's so many different skill combinations, guys. I'm gonna explain to you guys how I've been playing the game. Now, what you're seeing is actually over half of the video is actually my progression at the 12-day mark. 12-day of progression. After that, it's going to be my 18 days of progress. You're gonna be seeing the difference in stats, of skills, of builds between 12 and 18 days of progress. This is pretty important as a free-to-play player because all this data helps me to figure out better ways to play the game. But it also shows you guys how well I've been doing because I've been pushing the leaderboard. You'll see my leaderboard rankings on the global server, which is where I'm playing, and I actually started 20 days late, guys. I started almost 3 weeks late. I joined that server that late, and I'm doing this good as a free-to-play player. It goes to show how free-to-play friendly the game is. Now, this piece of content I'm doing just before this was the chapter campaign, which you're going to be grinding most of the time to get various, weapons, enhancing materials. You're going to be getting a lot of gold and experience, and all these things, all these materials allow you to power up your character and get stronger. And it's important to have a high amount of kills per hour when you're grinding that chapter campaign. You can grind the chapter campaign or the friend campaign for your friend Nia. The main character, Moon Rabbit, is called Lynn. Now there's the treasure dungeon. That's where all the cows are at. There's the skill dungeon. I'll show it later. Gold dungeon. Yeah, 13 of them. I'll show them later. The Tower of Guardian is the one I was just doing. Now this right here is the magic field that you're gonna unlock at level 2200, right? And there's different ways to approach all these certain gameplay modes, right? Here you want to destroy one of the element in each of the corner. The boss goes into a break phase, and you just want to unleash so much burst damage all at once, and you want to burst the boss down in these short periods of times. So what I like to do is turn off auto, but kind of keep my skills on auto. And, you'll get there. You can see the damage is tremendous when you get into the break phase. Look at that. It's crazy. Look at that. Beautiful. Very important to actually break bosses to deal, tremendous damage. And there's ways, there's latent abilities, There's accessories that allow you to actually get into the break phase more often and faster. So it's important to use those things when you're pushing for big damage. There's also other modes like the Abyss, which I will not show in this video because it's a one-type deal every floor, and there's a weekly reward depending on how deep you are in the floors. So definitely like so many different pieces of content, quite different from each other. Very fun. You want to push your damage, you want to push the rankings, you have to avoid stuff, you have to know how the mechanics work for certain bosses. So I'm enjoying that, right? I'm really enjoying that because I mean, I love to min-max in games, and this game actually allows you to do that. So there's the world boss, raid content, guild cave, guild conquest, which is 2 different boss, Lydias of light and fire, and there's also the Elydius of darkness and water, which is the one I'm fighting now. This boss is about defeating as many monsters around the boss as fast as possible. Get into the break phase, and he's spawning more monsters faster. Depending on your level, it will your points that you're gaining are based on your level that you're doing. So I'm doing like level 5, I'm getting 5 points per kill. So that's how it works. Get into the break phase as much as possible and activate these fast summoning of smaller of these monsters with the boss, so you can skyrocket your score. There's also the guild defense mode, which is like a tower defense. Very fun actually, and it's like a side game, and it's using your skills as like the towers in a tower defense game. So that's really fun. And there's also the gem mine after clearing chapter 5. I'll show you guys at the complete end of the video. In my 18th day of progression, this is still in my 12th day of progress. I have battle power, my damage is like 100 T, but you will see my damage 6 days later, how much higher it is. And now there's the fact that I don't have a stellar weapon. A stellar weapon is, there's different weapon quality, and there's 4 levels for each quality or rarity, whatever you want to call that. And usually the strategy is to rush for stellar weapon 1 for your main character Lyn, right? And that is the strategy that players are saying in the Discord, players are saying in the chat, but I don't feel like it's free to play friendly. Hear me out why. I'm gonna explain to you guys why pulling pulling for skills is much more powerful than pulling for weapons for your main character in the long term for a free-to-play player. So the reasons are as follow. I wrote that down right here. So first of all, the skills boost your gold gain, your experience gain, and your skill damage. And that's a great way, a great source of boosting these things. And having a higher gold gain is so important because you're going to be able to boost your flat attack and your flat health. Flat attack, you want to keep that higher than your flat health. Put the majority in attack, and the leftovers, when you still have gold, you put it in health. That's how you're going to approach things. You're going to farm better, you're going to progress faster, push faster in different levels of content. So the reason why stellar weapon is not that good to pull for as a free-to-play player is because simple fact that you can actually farm weapons and combine them by just farming the chapter. You farm the chapter, you get weapons, you combine them together, and you can reach all the way up to Stellar 1 weapon, Stellar 2, Stellar 3, Stellar 4. That just happens naturally, right? And there's ways to actually farm your Stellar weapon faster. I'm going to explain how. Now, pulling for skill, on the other hand, skills cannot be farmed, which is why I decided to mostly pull for skills. And like I said, skills also provide stackable passive boosts to gold gain, experience gain, and skill damage increase, which helps a lot in the long run. It's so important that you understand that it's there. When you awaken your skill after you get multiple copies, you get a higher amount of gold gain, XP gain, and skill damage increase, which is actually a massive source of these things. You can get them using other ways, but it gives you a very nice boost of these things. Also, having multiple skills can open various playstyles by using different combinations, different skill combos And many of the skills can also boost your elemental damage output. So you can stack multiple skills that boost your damage, and then you can have one or two big main skill damage that will get boosted so much by the other like four skills. So yeah, that's like different levels, like different multipliers that you're enabling on top of everything else. You can also have different presets for skills, latent ability, accessories, skill gems, and pets. You want to have one that maximizes your single target damage output for dealing insane damage to bosses. You want one preset that maximizes your ability to farm monsters from the campaign or other gameplay modes that requires you to defeat a lot of monsters in a short period of time. You want one preset that maximizes your kills over time to do a better run in the gold dungeon, and then you can just like use ticket to just like auto-complete it when you get a good run. You can auto-complete a lot of the stuff in the game. I mean, in the dungeons, you can auto-complete when you get a good score. You know, when you get triple S in the first two, and when you get a good score, good amount of kill in the gold dungeon. Also, having multiple skills at your disposal really helps you to deal with all kinds of situations. Now, in the long run, having skills is very nice because of all the stuff I talked about. And the stellar weapon, you can just farm it up from the campaign, but you can't farm the skill. You cannot farm the skills from the campaign. So, like, why would you be drawing for weapon? I've seen screenshots of players rushing for stellar 1 weapon. They have damage at like around 10T. I've seen one like around 50T, let's say. But the thing is, they kind of rush for it, and they missed out on so many different things. They don't have many skills at their disposal, and it's really like it's not gonna be good long term. I think it's gonna be bad for them. And there's also players that I'm hearing. I was checking in older history in the Discord chat of the main Discord for Moon Rabbit, which you can access from in the game. You go in community and press on the Discord to join it. I'm seeing players that are like, they're kind of lost after getting the Stellar 1. Maybe they don't understand all the other layers of things, other ways for you to improve your damage, maximize your damage, because there's so many different things, guys. There's so many different things. Skills can have a skill rune, and those skill rune give extra damage, enhances power of the skill, and there's legendary powers on those skill runes, and those legendary powers are very strong. Now, the best thing that you can do when you start the game, you're gonna get access to a selector for legendary skill. You need to go with the Phoenix Force skill. This is the most powerful legendary skill, especially early on. It's tremendous. It does 10 attack per second. My damage multiplier on it is it's like around 900%. 10 attack per second. I have a legendary power. You can get actually a skill rune of your choice. And you need to choose the Phoenix Force one, because you can get a legendary power on that when you re-roll it, because you want to re-roll it until you get the legendary power. You can get the Phoenix Force to attack not only one target 10 times per second, it can attack actually 2 more targets. Could you imagine? The Phoenix Force, as you can see throughout my gameplay, it's actually attacking 3 targets 10 times per second each. It's insane amount of damage. Not only for bosses, but also like in big packs of monsters, it's just going to do tremendous damage. But not only that, when you activate Phoenix Force, it has 25-second cooldown, I believe. Let's look at it right here. I'm gonna activate 28-second cooldown. And the Phoenix Force, I believe, lasts on the floor that it attacks for 15 seconds. But you get a boost for 10 seconds that boosts your final damage. This is a multiplier on top of all of your damage. At the end, it boosts your final attack damage. And it boosted by a tremendous amount. And also, you're getting healed every second while the Phoenix Force is active. Like it's insane damage. You're boosting the damage of all your other skills as well as the Phoenix Force. And you're actually healing every second based on your maximum health. Like, it's such a powerful skill. You will skyrocket your progression with Phoenix Force. Try to get the skill rune for the Phoenix Force using the selector. I believe you buy that from either the raid shop, no, from the skill shop, or the Darkness shop. I'm not 100% sure. It's like a one-time purchase that you can do. And you can definitely do that as a free-to-play player. Just it's using rubies or something like that. Or maybe the Darkness orb or something like that. So here are skill gems, and skill gems boost different skills. And you want to stack skill gems that boost your main skills, and you can have different presets later on. I can actually need to make another preset for like grinding the campaign versus single target damage versus bosses, like one for big area damage real quick burst, another one for like boss damage, and I could probably push my damage even further compared to what you're actually seeing here with my ranking. These are legendary weapons. This is the stellar weapons, but you can combine up the weapons all the way down, all the way up to stellar 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, right now, I can actually grind a stellar weapon. Since I need 2 more copies to actually get my stellar weapon, I did a calculation. We'll need to pull that up real quick here. So basically, I actually farm 1.152 carat bazooka per day. So over one of the 3rd legendary weapon per day. That's my rate currently with my drop rate, and that means I can actually get my first stellar in basically a week, because I'm actually going to around a week. I think it's going to be less because you're actually dealing more and more damage. You're grinding higher stage, which have better drop rate. Try to get 5,000 kill per hour. I'm getting 5,500 right now per hour. Stay online as much as possible. Online rewards are much better than offline, especially as free to play. You can see my ranking here. This is my ranking for 12 day of progression. Then I will show you guys my 18 day of progression rankings, and you will see how much better it is. And you have to remember, I started 20 days late, guys. The server opened 20 days before I actually started, right? And I'm free to play. So here you can see various stats that I've enhanced. You can see my stats on the left side. I'll scroll down. I've shown the stats of my friend, actually, as well, Nia. And I'm now at the, this is like the 2nd awakening done, but 18 days of progress. I did the 3rd awakening for Nia, and that gave me actually like 10% damage increase. 10% damage increase out of my total damage. That was a really nice boost right there. And skills, you know, boosting XP gain, gold gain, and skill damage gain. The earlier ones are boosting gold and XP gain, and the epic and legendary skills are boosting skill damage. And when you get the legendary skill, stop pulling. Do not pull for another one from the gacha system. What you want to do is use 1,000 of the legendary tomes, I believe, when you are farming the skill dungeon. You're going to accumulate these over time, and when you get 1,000, you purchase a 2nd copy of the legendary skill that you unlock, that you got. Which means you're going to be able to do the 1st awakening. It's going to boost the multiplier on the skill, the whatever multiplier is on that skill. Gonna be able to level it further to boost the multiplier, and then by awakening it will allow you to actually get a higher amount of skill damage. You just have to have it. It's the inventory effect. It affects your whole account. All your skill damage gets boosted. So over time you're gonna be able to get more of every 1,000 of these tomes, legendary tomes. You're gonna be able to purchase one legendary skill, and then you're gonna be able to awaken and activate unlock, like you're gonna be able to power it up to a higher level. And here is my ranking, guys. Look at the damage. Battle power, I'm over like 569 T. All my rankings improved dramatically. And as free to play, I don't have a stellar weapon yet. I don't have a stellar weapon, but I'm working at it, and I'll get it in a week if I'm just grinding campaign. Probably faster, because like I said, I'm going to grind higher level stages, which have better drop rate on the weapons, and try to reach like over 5,000 kill per hour. And I'll just be able to combine all the way up to Stellar 1 without even using the drawing from the gacha, which I've done a bit at the start, but I realized the mistake of doing that, and I went for skill draw because all the reason I've explained to you guys, it's not always all about your battle power. That number, yes, but then what about all the combinations of skills that have other multipliers on top of other multipliers that enables you to increase your damage output versus the target tremendously. There's multiple skills that allow you to just end up doing more damage. You can end up double, triple, quadrupling your damage versus the targets. And legendary skills are extremely powerful. And as a free-to-play player, you definitely want to start getting them as fast as possible. And especially if you have the event running that you can select which skill you want to get next. Think about the spell runes that you have, especially if you lucked out and you have a legendary power on one of those legendary spell. On one of those skill runes, if you have one of those, maybe you want to draw for that skill. A lot of these legendary skills are quite powerful, depending on the circumstance, but yeah, there's still, I want to get all of them over time, of course, and I'll make more videos and cover like what they're good for, and I'll talk about different builds. But right now I'm using, like, for grinding the campaign, I'm running an ice build, like Frost Nova, Glacial Spike, both to freeze. Blizzard can freeze 10% chance, deal more damage to normal monsters when the monsters are frozen. With the Frost Nova, when you defeat frozen monsters, you actually reduce the cooldown of your skill by 0.5 seconds or something like that. It really helps to have a rotation that's faster, and you can burst down big group one after the next and keep them frozen, and it allows you to progress faster in the campaign and all over the place. There are so many different things I need to talk about, but I can't talk about everything. Phoenix Force, get that. Get the skill rune for Phoenix Force. Roll it until you get the legendary power. Hopefully you get the one that attacks 2 more target. But there's another legendary power, which I don't remember 100% what it is. Oh yes, it's actually reduced the cooldown of all your skills by 20%. So that's actually pretty strong. So whatever one you get, I don't know, maybe you luck out, you get both at the same time, but the odds are quite low for that. So yeah, that's going to be very strong. I think having Phoenix Force attack 2 additional target is actually pretty important, especially versus big pack of monsters. So I would probably, if I had to choose, I would go for that. Here, I've shown you guys my skills and the skill rune that I have on them. My skill gem, I try to power up the main skills that I use most of the time to boost their damage multipliers. So it's quite important. There's so many things that you can do to min-max on your account. You want to push your flat attack, your flat health, but mostly your flat attack as high as possible. Always dump everything in flat attack. If there's remaining gold, you boost your flat health. And there's so many different multipliers that boost attack percentage and health percentage. You know, it's all over the place. It's on weapons, it's on accessories, it's on latent abilities. I show you guys my latent ability setup as well. It's based on the Tower of Guardian. You get a currency from there, and then you can power up skills. And then when you reach like 100% of the bar, you unlock a second latent ability line. I have currently 3, and the maximum is 5. It's going to take quite a bit to unlock the 4th one, especially the 5th one, but all these things open a lot of doors. You're grinding the campaign, get a bunch of gold gain increase, like a preset for latent ability for that. You're grinding, let's say, the gold dungeon and later builds where it's important to have like very fast attack speed, because there are skills you can turn on and it will trigger procs. It will, you see here Nia, she's third awakening. You can see my weapon. I grinded for the third Nia awakening. You can go in the portal on the top left, top right, and then you press on the friend tab and you grind the Uranus sector level, and then you're gonna be able to combine the Nia weapon up to legendary 1, legendary 2, legendary 3, legendary 4. That's another way that's pretty good to boost your battle power. So all that stuff, you don't need to do weapon draw for Lyn. You don't need to do and the last one, which is friend weapon draw, right? You don't need to do those. just save your rubies for other things like skill draw. So that's definitely a great way to go about it as a free-to-play player. I'm hearing a lot rush for Stellar 1 weapon, but it didn't make sense to me. Like having so many options open up for you because you have different skills that combo with each other or skills that are good for certain pieces of content. It's much better. You can see here my latent abilities. Attack speed is right now for the gold dungeon to get more kills. My second one has 2 legendary lines for boss damage, and that's a multiplier that's hard to get, and that's skyrocketing my damage versus bosses. I lucked out. I just lucked out on that. By the way, guys, it's very important to actually boost your item drop rate. You can get under stats, there's a line there that you're going to be able to power up, and it gives you 25% increase in item drop rate. The other way to boost that number is from the legendary weapon for your Moon Rabbit. It's called Moonlight Beam Cannon, right? Mine is level 74, and it gives 17.4% item drop rate. So that's actually really important. You need to power up the, let me check here. It's the second legendary weapon for Lin, your main character, the Moon Rabbit, right? So that boosts your item drop rate. So when you're fighting online, it's a lot more chances for you to get extra weapons that you're going to combine all the way up to stellar weapons, right? So that is quite important. By having a high kill speed per hour, I'm having like 5,500 kills per hour. You want to farm not your maximum stage. You want to go down 3, 4, 5 stage under your maximum so you're more efficient, get more kills per hour, and actually end up getting more of all kinds of resources as well as more weapons per hour that you're going to be able to combine all the way up to stellar. So yeah, don't forget, power up the second legendary weapon to get more better item drop rate. But most of the weapon you want to power them up at a pretty high level because they have different boosts for different things, and all of this stuff helps you in the end, right? It's not just about rushing for stellar 1 and just putting all your weapon enhanced material into the stellar 1 weapon. What about everything before? Like, there's so many other things that are important that you need to power up. That's why a lot of players are rushing for stellar 1 without understanding the mechanics of the game. And there's ways for you to reduce the defense of monsters, like with Ice Tornado, which is definitely a great way to boost your damage. Reducing the monsters or the boss's defense by 30-35% is a huge deal. It's defense penetration. It's just boosting your damage by quite a bit more over time. So right now, like I said, I'm farming over 1 of the 3rd legendary weapon, the Carrot Bazooka, per day. So I'm gonna be able to reach, my first stellar weapon in probably under a week by staying online the whole time. That's how you get more reward, more of everything. Because if you go offline, you get an offline reward all the way up to 8 hours now since the last update. The thing is, if you're a free-to-play player, you're not going to have access to 50% more of these offline reward because you don't spend money. There's a card you can purchase, right? But the thing is, the catch is, there's no catch actually. As free-to-play, or even if you spend money, staying online in the game and letting it auto-run in the campaign is the best way to get more of everything, especially gold and especially experience. Those are not even comparable to how much you get offline. You get so much more, guys, if you are online in the game. You're gonna skyrocket your progression and follow what I've been saying. Phoenix Force, big deal. Get the skill rune, get hopefully the attack 2 additional target, and from there just boost everything, all your stats, keep progressing as much, push the story, and keep using your ticket every day for all pieces of content, and try to push your scores higher to get better daily reward, weekly reward. It's quite important, guys, that you do all that if you want to push as fast and as high as possible as a free-to-play player, especially. I'm explaining more stuff in the description of the video, guys, breaking down like damage, my rankings between 12 days of progress and 18 days of progress. I'm explaining some stuff as well. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash the like, subscribe if you still haven't. If you want to see more for Idle Moon Rabbit, if you want to see more for other idle games which I'm going to introduce to the channel. My main game is Epic 7, but idle games are great side games. That's the cool thing about it. So yeah, let us know about what you think in the comment section, but that's it for this one. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all ya do. Peace out for now.